This is happening right now. Holy poop. How do I find out if I'm talking to somebody? How do I find out if... Oh, okay, there's 0 people watching. Hello, welcome viewer. So this is my first ever live stream. Right now I'm in my basement, and you're gone. Hello. So welcome. This is my name's Zach, and my YouTube channel is the Daily Think Share. So I wanted to talk about a couple of different chapters of my book today. This morning I went for a run, and I was talking about the fact that one of the things that we are constantly working on is our goals. We're always working on goals, but there's one thing that is so often not happening, which is why we're not accomplishing those goals. And one of those things for us is that we do not use public displays of accountability. So public displays of accountability are when you have multiple people holding you to your word on something you had promised. So for example, if I said, I want to write a book and I'm going to have it finished by August 1st, public displays of accountability would be going onto Facebook, declaring to a couple hundred people that you are going to accomplish that. And the reason that this works so well is we're so much less afraid of letting ourselves down, but all the time we're so afraid of letting other people down. So for the 4 people that are watching, if you could put in the comments, what are some of the goals that you're working on that you maybe are too afraid to talk about with other people? One of the things that I did last year, when I was working on this through about October, is I made a promise to myself in about July of last year that I wanted to do it. I told an entire room full of people that I wanted to do it, and as time went on, I started to find more and more people to talk to about it, so that I had more and more invested in actually accomplishing that. So one of the things I also did was I contacted a coach. My coach Christy, who I talk about in the book. I had a call with her every single week at the same time, saying exactly what I wanted to accomplish that week, and she would kind of get me out of my head. She would get me thinking about where I wanted to go with the book instead of where I didn't want to go. And that was one of the best ways that I stopped myself from going down those negative thought paths that so many of us go down. This is my first ever live stream. Can anyone show me that they can hear me? I can't really tell what's going on. All I see is a 4 and a little eyeball. Oh, okay, cool. All right, Louis Francis, Jaden, Squawker MC. Try and keep telling people about... Try and keep telling people about me and my sexuality. I really want people to know, but I'm still scared. Yeah, we can hear you. Thank you. Thank you, Squawker MC. Is that how I pronounce that? Squawker MC? So you're saying, try and keep telling people about me and my sexuality. I really want people to know, but I'm still scared. Well, what is your sexuality? Are you gay? Are you bi? Are you transitioning? What is that you're dealing with? Just call me Noah. No one can pronounce it. Okay, Noah. I'm at the summer program at school, and you're bi. So what are some of the issues that are coming up as you want to tell people? Like, what is the thing that's going on in your mind that make you say, like, nah, I'm not going to tell anybody? Last year I coached one of my students that is bi, and she wanted to tell her parents, and she was really uncomfortable doing that. And I kept talking about what's her greatest fear, like would they kick you out of the house? And some students have told me that before, that they could get kicked out of the house, so that was their main fear, and that's why they didn't tell people. But for her, she said, you know, I don't know what the worst would happen. And I said, I really want you to think about it. Like, what is the worst possible thing that could happen? Bye, Jaden. Thanks for joining me. And so for people that are out, so Noah, like, really think about what's the biggest fear that could happen if you were to tell people. And they say that straight to you. I'm sorry to hear that they're using the word faggot and queer and slang around you. That absolutely sucks. I can sort of relate, but at the same time not. So I'm a straight male, and when I was in middle school, when I was in elementary school, I was labeled as a crybaby. I was one of the people that was constantly getting picked on and bullied, and oftentimes people would really quickly call me names. A lot of people thought I was gay. I got pantsed in 8th grade because they thought I was shaving my legs when in fact I actually just had blonde hair on my legs, and so they're constantly giving me crap about it. What kind of goes through your mind when they call you those things? Like, does it feel like they're not accepting you for who you are? Because if you think about it, if they're already, and the other question is, are these your friends that are giving you that, or is it people that you really don't care about that are giving you all the crap? Because if it's people that you don't care about so much, then maybe what you could do is notice the fact that they're gonna hate all their lives. That's just like Taylor Swift's song Mean. Like, they're just gonna hate forever, and there's not much you're gonna be able to do to persuade them to change. Kind of like the video that I said the other day. Someone was working with one of their parents, and they just got used to the idea that they're probably never really gonna change their parents. It's probably always gonna be the same way for them, and so there's not much you can do, but what you can do is set an expectation for yourself. So when they're calling you those names, when they're having those moments of wanting to hate on you, what can you promise yourself? Like, how will you react to when they're doing that? Like, what can you promise yourself that you'll do in the face of that? By the way, Noah, I think I'm going to send out a book to, I think there's only 3 or 4 of you in that drawing. So if you would, I'll write down my email for you, but I'll put it in a comment on the video. So I'll send you out a book today. It's kind of just got to the point where everyone except my mom and sister are calling me the worst names, spreading rumors about me and putting words in my mouth. Does that include your father as well? So to the point where everyone except my mom and sister are calling me the worst names and spreading rumors. So like, I'd be interested to hear what are the kind of rumors they're spreading. So is it that they're saying that you're another sexuality, like you're not bi, you're other things and you're doing crazy things? And do you have any idea for why they might want to send out those kind of things? No, you heard me. I'm sorry to hear that you don't really have a great relationship with your dad, and it's not your fault. You can know that any time in your life. Anyone can think on that level, is that when your parents are a certain way towards you, it's really never your fault. Most of the way, I'm not a father right now, but when I'm often thinking ahead about being a father in the future, I think to myself about what I want to do for my child. And most of it is all a reaction to how my parents raised me, how I grew up, and I want to make sure that my children are having a certain kind of childhood as well. So however they're treating you is really just a reaction to the way that they were raised. I'll be right back. I gotta grab a charger. My phone's gonna die. be back. Hold on a second. Alright, that's plugged in. Alright. It's really fine. I don't care at this point. I haven't seen him for more than a year. I was abused by him. Went to court against him, but don't worry. I'm fine. I still have my mom's sister and 3 brothers. I'm glad to hear that you don't have to deal with him anymore. That's a crappy situation to deal with. So, seems like one of your other questions was like you weren't quite sure how to come out to. I'm going back into the comments. Try and keep telling people about me and my sexuality. I really want people to know, but I'm still scared. So it sounds like they might already be assuming that you are a different sexuality than straight. And so the question is, what do you have to lose by telling people that you're bi? Would be my question. What is, what do you think could happen if you were to outwardly tell people that you're bi instead of not telling them anything or pretending that you're straight? I remember hearing this story once about there was a prisoner. He was like a mass murderer. I don't remember who it was. And I'm absolutely not comparing someone that is bi or gay to being a mass murderer at all. I'm not saying that. But it was more like a secret that they're holding on to. And it wasn't until the day that they were put behind bars is they actually felt free. Because it was all of a sudden this secret that had been weighing on them for years. And obviously they're kind of a horrible person. They are a horrible person. But the fact that it had been weighing on them for years and they were finally able to let go of that secret, they felt so much more free. So the question is, if you think you could weigh the benefits or the positive or the negative of coming out versus staying the way that you are, what are some of those different benefits? What are the things that you could get out of it? What are the benefits from staying the way they are? I've already been compared to that, so don't worry. No, you're not just a joke. That's disappointing that anyone would compare that. But I wonder what kind of freedom you could have from. I wonder what kind of freedom you could have from people if you were to just be able to be outward about it and say that you are bi. Another question for you, and so that it's not in the notes if someone else comes on, it's actually just you and me, Noah. If when you say this, you're in the summer program, is that it? To say yes, put like a little, just a little asterisk, a little star. If it's a yes, are you at the Robinson Middle School summer program? Oh, no way. No, I'm gonna give you my email. So I'm gonna do that now. I'm gonna give you my email so that you can send me your address and I can send you a book. I'm gonna put it on. I'm gonna put it on one of the comment from. Let's see. I'm going to do the most recent one. The fear of people leaving me again alone last time. The fear of people leaving me again alone like last time. So you're concerned that that if you were to come out, that people will leave you alone. So it sounds like there are a lot of people calling you names, but at the same time, there's a lot of people that you don't quite know their feelings on gay people, on bi people, and you're not sure quite how they would react to that. Like, they might leave you, they might not be friends with you anymore, something like that. That makes sense. So one thing you could do, and I know I would kind of do this when I was in college. There are always moments when I wanted to speak with my roommate straight about something, like say the dishwasher was really full. And what I would do is, instead of confronting them about that, I would sort of try to joke around about things. So I'd say, oh man, whoever decides to clean up that mess is going to have a hard time. And also I would say, like, gee, do you even know who did this? I know I helped, and I would take some responsibility. And what I would try to do is I would try to joke around about it, talk about it, so I could try to get some intel, some information out of them. So for the people that you don't really know what the reaction might be, you could, comment on maybe YouTubers that they might know that are gay or bi. You could comment on actors, famous people that they would know, and see what their reactions are to them. And you could even say, like, do you know any bi people? Do you know any gay people? Like, you could try to bring it up sort of covertly, sort of like you have a specific intention, but you could try to have it not come off, sort of test the waters to see how they feel. Is it like a lot of people, or is it like just a couple people? Is it, the smaller amounts of people, the easier it might be to figure out whether they would really reject you. I think that in this day and age, I think people are much more comfortable than they were decades ago. I know, talking to a lot of people that are older than me, they said, there was no gay pride flag in their classroom. There was no language. There were no celebrities that were gay. There was no one to talk about. But now there are so many people. Nearly all my air, which is like 115. Okay. So it might take individual conversations and bringing up various different people that you can test the waters. Like, hey, what do you think about Tyler Oakley? Or what do you think about... Now I know bi is different than gay. And at the same time, I think that if you can find out where they stand on people that are gay, I think you would have a pretty good idea of how they would be able to... Oh, okay. If you found out how they felt about gay people, I'll bet you could also find out quite a bit about, how they feel about people that are bisexual. So, maybe brainstorm who are a bunch of celebrities, who are a bunch of people that you could bring up and try to find out how they feel about it. And, I know this is always tough, and I remember I've done a lot like that. They hate them all out. Okay. All right. So you've already done some of that. Interesting. Now, I know this is advice my mom gave me, and I know it's always tough because, even today I struggle with this, but, sometimes you got to think about, if you let out your true self, if you let people know who you are, what you're really like, sometimes it'll be like survival of the fittest with your friends, and the ones that you really want to come around and be around and will help you, represent you, and love you for exactly who you are the people that are going to be more attracted to you when you come out, versus the people that you don't want to be around, that, yes, they're going to judge you maybe even more. Maybe you don't want them around you. I guess the other question is, if they're using the words like faggot, if they're using words like queer, do you think that would get worse? And what can you be doing with, you could also, I don't know how the guidance counselors work in the UK, but you could ask, like, what you could say ahead to a guidance counselor, like, hey, I'm really scared about coming out because I'm afraid of, or you could say, you know, there's a lot of people using these names around me that I really don't feel comfortable with. Like, can you do anything about that? I know that students have come up to me and said before, that they hear things around them that make them uncomfortable. And for me as a teacher, that speaks hugely that a student has enough trust in me that they'll share that with me, and that can build a really great relationship with you and your teachers. If you can, you know, confess that you feel really uncomfortable at some of the comments that are going on around you. I don't know what your teachers are like in your school, but I would bet for most teachers out there, they're there to make a difference for students your age. And if you can tell them what it's like for you, what's going on for you, and you can help them understand your situation without telling them exactly about yourself, that could make a huge difference. If you want to, you could even show them one of the YouTube videos of me with the flag in the class and say, and you know, if there were someone that were openly gay, you could help ask and convince them to have the teacher put up a flag in the classroom. It's also a group I go to and a place that support me, which is great. My teachers just walk away from this problem. Really? That's really disappointing to hear. I'm sorry to hear that. I'm assuming the place is like after. Do you have a GSA, a Gay Straight Alliance in your school? No GSA. But what's the place that you can go to that helps you? What's the place that you could go to that helps you? And I think it's interesting though, like when we were talking about you having your own channel, you know, I've noticed there are other YouTubers out there that have talked about some of their issues out there. They've talked about, like, I've seen some people that have eating disorders that have decided to like kind of come out and have that public accountability and have people helping them out there. And, you know, you might find a huge support system out there. It might be difficult to mask yourself. You know, maybe you wear a hat or a mask or a visor or something over your face. But, I mean, I would absolutely support you if you wanted to make sort of a ghost account that didn't have to do with your name, but you wanted to talk about, you know, the country or the city or something that you live in and what you deal with, and sort of say, you know, I'm afraid to come out. I'll bet you would gain a ton of support through different social media platforms. They went and talked to an organization. They're going to come in and talk to our years and things. So I did that. Well, that's great. Congratulations on actually doing that. I think that takes confidence and courage to go talk to someone to do something about that problem. Oh, let me finish this email. So I'm commenting on one of your posts, the email that I want you to send your address to so I can send you the book. ideasovercoffeebook@gmail.com. Yeah, send me your. I just commented on the comment you left on Talking Big with my dad, the birthday boy. I put my email on there. Send me an email with your address, and I will send you a book today. Oh, and the place I go to is a young adult center called The Magnet. That sounds like kind of a cool place. The Magnet. I wonder how they got that name. I guess they attract you right in, huh? Yeah, I think teachers cracking down on those kind of issues today it's challenging to find teachers that are willing to be different from others. I know that I have a pretty awesome support group. My mom is all about helping me do that. I'm surrounded by other people that help me do that, and it sucks that there's still a lot of teachers out there that walk away from the problem. Okay, all right, get to your bus. Whoever the other person is watching, could you tell me who you are? I know it was mostly me just talking with Noah here, but I'd love to, talk more with you. Who's the other person there? Let me know who you are so I can talk to you. I mean, me just talking out loud to myself is kind of silly, but might as well have sort of a conversation. Is that my mother-in-law? Lynn, is that you? It's not telling me. It's not telling me who the one viewer is. It's just saying one with a little I. Yeah. All right, Lynn. I think I'm gonna end it. That was a good first session. That was fun. All right, I'm logging off.